Hello, my friend. Welcome now to your sleep story. My name is Skylar. I'm an American storyteller. It's my great privilege calmly to be the voice you listen to as you drift to sleep tonight. Tonight, we begin an immersive, new, history-based series. My voice will stay with you, slowly, for much longer than usual. In tonight's story, you will gently travel back in time to the ancient Egyptian city of Alexandria. You will start your slow walk by the beautiful Mediterranean Sea. You will meet the people of that place now, and you will feel a deep human connection with these souls from the past. It will slowly begin to rain, and you will find peaceful rest and untold wisdom within the great Library of Alexandria. Here, you will meet a kind stranger. You will sit, relax, and learn under the soft glow of oil lamps before slowly falling asleep, accompanied by the soothing sound of rain. Now, let's move into our relaxation session, which will take just a few calm minutes before tonight's story. I'm going to count down slowly from 10 to 1. As I do, allow yourself to relax more deeply and let go calmly with every number. 10. Feel the support now of the bed beneath you, or the floor, or whatever you lie upon tonight. And beneath all of that, calmly feel the steady support of the earth, our home, our constant friend. As you slowly become aware of that solid foundation, see if it enables you to let go a little more now, to release. You are safe. Relax now. Allow my voice to be an anchor of safety tonight. A friend gently guiding you. Know that my voice will only ever take you to safe, peaceful places. As you become aware of that truth, surrender a little more now, calmly, to this moment. This is your chance for real, full rest in a truly safe space. Eight. Tune into your body now. Notice where you are still holding tension or pain. Allow a gradual, slow release to happen. Maybe it's in your feet, or your lower legs, or your thighs, or your belly, or your chest. Perhaps it's your hands, your arms, your shoulders, and neck. Or maybe, like me, you hold tension in your face. Just release now, wherever it may be. 7. The day is done. Whatever has been, has been. Whatever will be, will be. Allow yourself now to know that thoughts are simply part of you, part of being human. They will arrive and they will leave just as easily. So, whatever thoughts you might have about the past or the future, accept them calmly for what they are. Thoughts. Don't fight them. See them arrive, and then watch them gently float away like leaves on a moonlit river, or clouds passing by in a starlit sky. Six. This is your moment. This is your time. You have nowhere you need to go now. No obligations to fulfill, no duties calling. So relax. Enjoy that fact. Luxuriate in it. And allow it to slowly help you sink deeper and deeper toward calm, rejuvenating rest. Five. Peace lives within you. It has always been there. It is your constant, loyal friend, just waiting to be found. See now if you can feel that peace softly blooming inside you. Tonight, see if you can notice it now and allow it to slowly spread throughout you. Perhaps. Allow a little gratitude now. Gratitude for this moment. Gratitude for the simple, beautiful things. The shelter you have tonight. The precious ability to rest calmly. Three. Perhaps allow a little gratitude now. Gratitude for this moment. Gratitude for the simple, beautiful things. The shelter you have tonight. The precious ability to rest calmly. Begin to engage with your imagination now. Slowly, feel as if you are in a far-off land, in a distant, ancient time. A land far away from all that you know. You are standing in the ancient port city of Alexandria. You are watching people working on ships, observing the daily comings and goings of this great place. These people from the past. Allow your mind now to settle into this moment. Be open, be receptive to the safe, immersive journey that you are about to embark on. Two. Feel into your body once more, now. Your body has worked hard for you today. Now, it is time to give it the rest it deserves. Completely letting go now. Relax calmly as I tell you tonight's sleep story. You are walking along the harbor in Alexandria. the city where the world gathers. The air is warm, but not stifling, carrying the tang of salt and a faint trace of spices. Beneath your feet, the stones of the street feel uneven but solid, worn smooth by the passage of countless generations. The smell of the sea mingles with something earthier. The wood of the docks, sun-dried and cracked. The faint aroma of fish lingering from the early morning catch. The Mediterranean Sea stretches out before you, calm for now, its surface catching fragments of light from the pale morning sky. It laps gently at the sides of ships docked along the piers. Each vessel is distinct and beautiful in its own way. Some are wide and heavy, built to carry grain from Egypt's rich fields. Others are slender and sleek, with sails rolled tightly against their masts. Ropes creak softly against wood as they shift with the current. A subtle, almost musical sound. Close by, the harbor is alive with people. You hear their voices before you fully see them. A mix of languages and tones, rising and falling in bursts. It is not chaotic, it is not loud, but it is constant. A gentle murmur of human activity filling the air, like the hum of insects in a sunlit field. As you walk, you begin to pick out individual sounds. A man's laugh, a child's chatter, the clipped commands of a sailor directing his crew. Ahead of you, someone is unloading large clay jars from a cart. The jars are plain, sturdy, their surfaces dull with dust. The man lifts them carefully. His arms wrapped tightly around the rounded sides, he carries them slowly toward the dock. His tunic is simple, off-white, but stained with the honest marks of his trade. His sandals scrape lightly against the stone. A young boy trails behind him, clutching the edge of the cart, watching everything with wide, curious eyes. You pause now for a moment, calmly taking it all in. Let the scene slowly settle around you now. This is a place of movement, of labor, of exchange, but it is also a place of rhythms. Of patterns repeated over years and decades. You feel yourself being drawn into it, as though this great ancient city itself is inviting you now to linger, to look more closely, to see not just a harbor and a city, but the lives being lived here, the humanity around every corner. The year is 240 BCE. You are standing in the heart of the Ptolemaic kingdom, ruled by Pharaoh Ptolemy III. He is the third ruler of the dynasty founded by Ptolemy I, a general of Alexander the Great, who claimed Egypt after the death of his commander nearly a century ago. Alexandria, this thriving city at the mouth of the Nile Delta, has become a beacon of culture and learning, a meeting point of Greek and Egyptian traditions, the jewel of the Mediterranean world. The pyramids, ancient even in this time, stand far to the south, near Memphis and Giza. Their immense stones have weathered thousands of years, silent witnesses to dynasties long gone. They belong to another age, a time when pharaohs of the Old Kingdom ruled over an Egypt that was isolated and self-contained. Now, in the age of Alexandria, Egypt is a cosmopolitan land, its traditions mingling with the influences of Greece, Persia, and beyond. The city around you reflects this blending of worlds. Its layout is unlike anything else in Egypt, planned in the Greek style, with wide avenues and orderly grids. The grandest of these avenues runs from the royal palace near the sea to the great library, the center of knowledge and scholarship. You are close now to this cultural heart of the city, where philosophers, scientists, and poets gather to exchange ideas. This is a time of expansion and ambition. Ptolemy III has recently returned from a campaign, bringing back spoils and restoring sacred artifacts taken from Egypt centuries before. His reign is marked by prosperity, and Alexandria thrives under his rule. The lighthouse at Pharos, one of the tallest structures in the world, guides ships into the harbor, its beacon visible for miles across the sea. As you walk, the weight of time feels tangible. You are not in a distant land ruled only by gods and mysticism, but in a vibrant, living world where people trade, create, and dream, much as they do in your own time. Yet there is something undeniably different about this place, an energy that speaks softly of discovery and connection. You are here now, in the age of Alexandria. Lingering near the edge of the docks, a voice calls out to you, not sharp, not insistent, but casual, as if addressing a familiar face. and see a woman seated on a low crate, a woven basket resting beside her. She is middle-aged, her dark hair tied back with a simple cloth, her skin bronzed and weathered, her face lined by life but calm. There is something unhurried about her, as though she carries no weight but the present moment. She gestures to you now with an open hand, inviting you to come closer. Don't stay in the sun too long, she says lightly, her Greek softened with the lilting tones of Egypt. She smiles as she speaks, her hands busy weaving reeds into the beginnings of a basket. The reeds are thin and damp. As she works, small droplets of water fall to the stones below. She seems to take pleasure in the work, her fingers moving steadily, almost rhythmically. It can fool you here, she continues. The sun, it feels kind, but it leaves its mark. You step closer now, and she looks up at you, studying your face, as though trying to place you. Then she waves a hand at the harbor behind her. "This is your first time here, isn't it?" she asks, though it sounds more like a statement than a question. She doesn't wait for an answer. It's easy to tell. You stand like someone who's looking for something. She pauses her weaving, leaning back slightly, considering her next words. But let me tell you something. Everything you need is already here. She gestures at the docks, at the crates piled high with goods, at the people moving past. The world has been brought to this place. If you can't find it here, it doesn't exist, she says. She tells you her name is Nasara, and that she has lived in Alexandria her whole life. I was born just a short walk from here, she says, pointing inland. My family still lives in the same house, nothing special, just walls and a roof, but it keeps the rain out when it comes. She chuckles softly, as if rain is more myth than reality. My husband fishes. My son works in the warehouses, and I make these, she says, holding up the beginnings of her basket. That's my life. It's not complicated, but it's good. As she speaks, her tone is steady, matter of fact. But there is a quiet pride in her words. People think you need more, she continues, but look around. Those men unloading jars, they have families to feed. The merchant arguing over figs, he's not really angry. He just wants his fair share. For a moment, you simply listen now, letting her words settle over you. Relax, slowly, calmly. There is a deep calmness in her, an ease that feels foreign yet comforting. She speaks as though the world is not something to conquer, but something to live within, to accept and to embrace. "Do you see that ship?" she asks, pointing to a wide, weathered vessel tied up at the pier. "It came a long way. I heard they brought back books. Scrolls. They say they'll take them to the library." She shrugs lightly. "I don't need scrolls, but I like knowing they're there, that this city is alive with thinking, with dreaming." Nasara returns to her weaving now, her hands moving steadily once more. "You should keep walking," she says, not unkindly. "See what you find. The city is full of surprises." She glances up at you now, one last time. Time, her eyes, soft but clear. "But remember, don't look too hard. The best things find you when you aren't searching. You leave the harbor behind, stepping into the streets of Alexandria, proper. The sounds of the dark fade, slightly replaced by the hum of the city. Footsteps on stone. The low murmur of conversation. The occasional bark of a street vendor calling out his wares. The air smells different here, less salty, more earthy, with hints of baking bread wafting from unseen ovens. As you walk, something catches your eye. A young boy, crouched near the corner of a modest shop, a small dog sitting obediently by his side. The dog is short, wiry, its coat a patchwork of brown and white. Its tail wags lazily as the boy strokes its back. The boy looks about 8 years old. His tunic, neck slightly too large for him, the hem brushing against the dusty ground. He holds a flat piece of bread in one hand, tearing off small bits to feed his companion. The dog sniffs each piece before taking it gently from his fingers. Its ears perked with quiet attention. As you pass, the boy glances up and meets your gaze. His dark eyes are bright, his expression open. For a moment, he simply smiles before returning to his task. It's a simple scene, but there's something timeless in the bond between the two. A small act of care, freely given, that speaks of trust and companionship. Further along, you come across an older man, seated on a low bench beneath the shade of a sycamore tree. He is bent slightly forward, his hands clasped around a wooden walking stick, polished smooth with age. Beside him, a girl stands, perhaps his granddaughter. Her black hair is tied back in 2 braids, and she holds a small clay cup in her hands. Careful now, the man says, his voice deep and steady, speaking in Egyptian, a language unfamiliar to you, but full of warmth in its cadence. The girl carefully tilts the cup, helping him drink, her small hands steady against the rim. When he is finished, he pats her head lightly, murmuring something that makes her laugh. Her laugh is high and bright, carrying over the low hum of the street. She leans in close to him, saying something softly. He nods, his weathered face creasing into a smile. It's a moment of connection, intimate yet universal, and it lingers with you as you walk on. Not far ahead, you notice a small market stall selling dates. The vendor, a woman with a brightly patterned headscarf, reaches out with both hands to help an older customer tie the rope around a basket brimming with fruit. The 2 women exchange a few words. their laughter mingling with the chatter of the street. The older woman places a hand briefly on the vendor's arm, a gesture of thanks, before hoisting the basket onto her hip and making her way back into the crowd. As you take in these small moments, these fragments of life, you feel an undeniable connection to the people of this city. Their gestures, their voices, their care for one another transcend the boundaries of time. Were it not for their tunics and headscarves, their handmade baskets and clay cups, this could be any street, in any city, in any time. There is something profoundly human in the way they move through the world. In their kindness, their quiet joys, their shared moments of understanding. Now, you walk deeper into the city. The air shifts once again. It's less bustling now, more tranquil. The narrow streets are lined with homes, their walls made of pale, sun-bleached limestone. Above you, balconies jut out, draped with cloth awnings to keep out the sun. You admire the craftsmanship of a carved wooden door when you hear a voice nearby. Soft, but clear. Are you new to Alexandria? The man asks. He is standing in the shaded doorway of a house, dressed in a flowing white chiton, its folds crisp and clean. His sandals are simple but well made, the leather polished. His face is open and friendly, with a short cropped beard that frames a warm smile. You seem like a traveler, he continues, gesturing with one hand. Would you like to step inside? The heat can be relentless at this time of day. Before you can respond, he opens the door wider, revealing a glimpse of the cool interior. Come, he says, encouraging but not insistent. A drink will help you on your way. There is something about his manner, unhurried, sincere, that makes you follow him inside. You are now in a real Alexandrian home. From more than 2,000 years ago. The air within is cool and still, a welcome contrast to the warmth outside. The floor is made of polished limestone, smooth beneath your feet. The walls are painted with simple but elegant designs, geometric patterns in soft reds and blues. house smells faintly of cedar wood, likely from the beams supporting the ceiling above. The main room is spacious, with low wooden couches arranged around a central table. The couches are covered in cushions, embroidered with intricate patterns, their colors still vibrant. The man gestures for you to sit on one of the couches as he pours a drink from an earthenware jug into a shallow, wide cup. It's date wine, he says, setting it before you. Sweet and refreshing. It will take the edge off the heat. He pours himself a cup as well, then settles onto a seat opposite you. The wine is light and fragrant, its sweetness balanced by a faint, earthy tang. You glance around the room, taking in the details. Along one wall, there is a large storage chest carved with images of lotus flowers, its surface gleaming faintly in the dim light. Above it, a shelf holds a small collection of oil lamps, each one unique, some shaped like animals, others adorned with tiny, intricate figures. A bronze brazier stands in the corner, unlit but ready for use. Its surface decorated with curling patterns that mimic vines. That brazier came from Memphis, he says, a gift from my brother. He has a talent for finding beautiful things. He pauses, then adds, but the real treasures of a home are the people in it. As if on cue, a young girl peeks out from a doorway at the far end of the room, her hair tied back with a ribbon. She hesitates for a moment, then steps forward, carrying a small clay jar. This is my daughter, Callista, he says. She's shy around new people. Callista sets the jar on the table and offers you a small smile before retreating. She's learning to make honey cakes, her father explains. Perhaps you'll stay long enough to try one. There's no urgency in his voice, only a warmth that makes you feel completely at ease. Back, sipping his wine. Alexandria is a city of wonders. he says, almost to himself. But it's also a place of simple pleasures, cool rooms, good wine, the laughter of children. These are the things that matter. He looks at you thoughtfully. The rest, the noise, the ambition, even the knowledge, those are for the world outside. Here, it's different. As you relax, a woman enters, her steps quiet but purposeful. The man looks up with an easy smile. "Ah, my wife," he says, his tone softening as he gestures toward her. "You've come to meet our guest." The woman approaches, her hands lightly clasped before her. She wears a flowing, pale blue linen dress and a simple necklace of polished stone beads. Her presence is calm and welcoming. "Welcome to our home," she says, her Greek clear and measured. "I hope my husband has been a gracious host." He chuckles. "I have done my best, but you always host better than me." She sits beside him, smoothing her dress. Her gaze turns to you. "You've come a long way, I think," she says, not as a question, but an observation. Travelers always carry a certain look in their eyes, curiosity perhaps, or something else. It's a gift to see new things, isn't it? She pours herself a cup of wine, her movements unhurried. The conversation flows easily. She tells you her name is Thalia and speaks of her life with quiet dignity. "We've lived here since we were married," she says. "This house has seen many seasons. It's not grand, but it is ours. The city outside is full of noise and ambition, but here we have everything we need." She pauses, her expression thoughtful. The city is many things, grand, alive, full of learning, but at its heart, it is just a place where people live, like anywhere else. We rise, we work, we care for those we love. There are no grand lessons, no lofty ideals in her words. Just simplicity, timeless and clear. she speaks, Callista reappears, carrying a tray with small honey cakes. She sets it down carefully, her eyes darting shyly toward you before retreating once more. Thalia picks one up and offers it to you. These are her first attempt, she says with a smile. Be kind. The cake is small and delicate, its golden crust sticky to the touch. As you bite into it, the sweetness of honey fills your senses, rich, yet not overwhelming. The warmth of the family surrounds you, a quiet harmony that feels utterly natural, safe. Stay as long as you like, Talia says, her tone genuine. There's no rush here, no need to hurry back to the world outside. Stay as long as you like, Talia says, her tone genuine. There's no rush here, no need to hurry back to the world outside. So you sit for a while in quiet meditation, enjoying the feeling of being welcome, of being in the company of kind strangers who lived thousands of years ago. Eventually, you thank Thalia and her husband warmly. Their kind faces linger in your mind as you step back into the streets of Alexandria. The afternoon sun still hangs overhead, but the air feels heavier now, as if the city itself is slowing, preparing for the shift of weather. urgency, weaving through the narrow lanes, each turn offering something new to catch your eye. You can still hear the Mediterranean Sea in the distance. The hum of the marketplace is quieter here, replaced by the softer sounds of daily life. A wooden door creaking open, the scrape of a broom against stone, the occasional clink of pottery. As you round a corner, you notice him. An older man, his beard full and streaked with gray. His robes are simple, yet immaculate, dyed in a soft shade of ochre. He carries a scroll tucked under one arm and walks with a steady deliberation, unhurried but purposeful. His eyes catch yours, and for a moment he pauses, inclining his head slightly in greeting. "Ah," he says, his voice low and measured. "A fellow traveler, I think." His Greek is fluid, the kind of voice you could listen to without ever tiring of its cadence. Of someone searching for something, he continues. Perhaps you do not yet know what it is. He smiles gently, gesturing for you to come closer. I'm on my way to the library. Perhaps you would care to join me. It is a place where questions find answers and where those who seek are rarely disappointed. You fall into step beside him, his presence calm but quietly commanding. As you walk, he continues, weaving the story of the library into the rhythm of your footsteps. It was Timai I, the general of Alexander the Great, who dreamed of such a place. He says, a home for all the knowledge of the world. He gestures to the street ahead, where the buildings grow larger, their facades adorned with columns and intricate carvings. He gestures to the street ahead, where the buildings grow larger, their facades adorned with columns and intricate carvings. They say the library holds hundreds of thousands of scrolls now, though no one knows the true number. Philosophy, mathematics, medicine, astronomy, all the thoughts and discoveries of humankind collected in one place. His tone is reverent, as though speaking of something sacred. The sky darkens slightly, and you feel the first cool drops of rain against your skin. Light at first, then steady. The old man pauses, glancing upward. A blessing, he says softly, pulling the scroll closer to his chest. Even Alexandria needs the rain. The streets glisten as the rain begins to fall more steadily, the sound soft but insistent, like a distant drumbeat. You walk beneath the changing sky, the cool air carrying the scent of water on stone. As you approach the library, its grandeur begins to take shape. The wide steps leading up to it gleam with the rain, and its columns rise high, reaching toward the heavy clouds. The old man slows his pace, allowing you to take in the sight. Here it is, he says softly, a place where the world comes to think, to question, and to dream. He places a hand lightly on your shoulder. Let us step inside. There's no better place to be than the library on a day like this. You begin to climb the wide stone steps. The limestone, pale and worn in the middle from countless feet, shows faint traces of fossilized shells. The columns, massive and carved from lighter marble, stand in perfect symmetry, their surfaces catching the rain. Above the doorway, a lentil is inscribed with Greek letters. Dedicated to the Muses. the old man says reverently. As you step inside, the world outside fades away. The air is cool and still, carrying the faint scent of papyrus and aged wood. The floor beneath you is made of polished stone tiles, their surfaces inlaid with geometric patterns, guiding your gaze deeper into the space. The interior of the library is vast but inviting, designed not to intimidate, but to inspire. Rows of shelves, carved from local acacia wood, hold tightly rolled scrolls marked with small parchment tags. Some plain, others sealed with symbols hinting at their treasures. The ceiling rises high, its beams made of imported cedar wood. Small skylights let in soft, diffused light, casting the room in gentle shadow. Bronze oil lamps mounted along the walls provide a steady glow, creating an intimate warmth despite the library's size. The man walks ahead, his sandals making soft sounds on the stone floor. He gestures toward a group of scholars seated at low tables, bent over their work. This place was built to hold the world's knowledge, the man says, his voice low to respect the space. Every ship that comes into the harbor is searched. If they carry scrolls, they are brought here. Copies are made, and the originals are returned. Some call it bold, others call it theft. But here, nothing is lost. Here, it is preserved. He leads guides you further, explaining the construction of the walls. They're layered limestone for strength, plastered with stucco to protect against the sea air. The roof funnels rainwater into hidden cisterns, keeping the scrolls safe. His tone carries the pride of someone who loves this place, understanding its importance not only to Alexandria, but to the world and the future. You notice small alcoves along the walls where scribes sit, carefully copying scrolls onto fresh sheets of papyrus. Their movements are steady and precise, their focus unwavering. The sound of their pens moving is almost rhythmic, blending with the quiet murmur of voices and the faint crackle of the lamps. There is an order to everything here, a harmony that feels deliberate and safe, as though the library itself is a sanctuary from the chaos of the world outside. The man stops near one of the shelves, pulling out a scroll and holding it carefully in both hands. He does not unroll it, but simply looks at it for a moment before placing it back. There are things here you cannot find anywhere else, he says softly. Stories, discoveries, dreams, all preserved for those who come after us. It is not perfect. It may not last forever, but for now, it is enough. He turns to you, his expression thoughtful. This is a place for seekers, he says, and you, I think, are one of them. Come, let me show you more. The sound of the rain lingers faintly, a soft patter that seeps into the silence of the library. It seems to come from everywhere and nowhere, like a memory carried in the walls. The steady rhythm of the rain is soothing, blending with the occasional rustle of a scroll being unrolled and the gentle murmurs of scholars. Though the space is vast, the warm glow of the oil lamps and the quiet hum of activity make it feel intimate. The man motions for you to follow him deeper into the library. he says, his tone inviting. There is a place I want to show you. He leads you through a narrow passageway where the walls are lined with shelves that stretch high above your head. The faint scent of cedar and papyrus grows stronger here, mingling with the earthy tang of the rain-soaked air that filters in through unseen cracks and skylights. You emerge into a smaller, more private room. A low brazier sits at its center, the embers glowing softly and filling the space with gentle warmth. The walls are lined with shelves, but here they are lower, more accessible. The scrolls are within reach. A small wooden table, worn smooth by years of use, sits beside a cushioned bench. The man gestures for you to sit, and as you settle into the bench, you feel the quiet comfort of the space. The glow of the brazier, the softness of the cushions, the muffled presence of the rain beyond the walls. The man selects a scroll from the nearby shelf, handling it with reverence. This is, he says as he carefully unrolls it, a text attributed to Hesiod. It's called Works and Days. It was written long before this city was founded, but its lessons are timeless. He clears his throat softly and begins to read, his voice low and steady, the words carrying ancient wisdom. First of all, consider the seasons and the sacred power that moves through them. Work when it is time to work. Rest when it is time to rest. Be mindful of the earth's rhythm, for they are wiser than the ambitions of men. Do not let your heart be ruled by envy, for envy devours the soul and blinds the mind. Instead, rejoice in the work of your own hands, however humble it may be, for it is through steady labor that the heart finds peace. Seek justice in your dealings, not for the sake of reward, but because it is right. A fair man sleeps soundly, even in the humblest of homes. But a man who gains through deceit will find no comfort, no matter how fine his bed. Take heed of moderation in all things, for excess blinds the soul and leaves a man adrift. To hoard riches is folly, for wealth unshared brings no joy and withers the spirit like a tree left untended. But neither should one waste what has been earned through honest toil. A wise man knows the balance, the middle way that leads to contentment. Be mindful of those you call friend, for good companions are a treasure greater than gold. Trust those who have proven themselves in small ways, for it is in the little deeds that character is known. A kind word, a helping hand. These are the markers of a friend whose presence will lift you in dark times. Avoid the company of the deceitful, for their laughter is hollow, and their promises like smoke carried on the wind. Remember this season of life, not only of the earth. Youth is a time of planting, of preparation, and if it is spent wisely, it lays the foundation for a harvest yet to come. Age, though it slows the body, brings wisdom and reflection to those who have lived with purpose. Do not envy the fleeting vigor of the young, for their strength is a passing thing. Instead, cherish the lessons of the years and the peace that comes from a well-lived life. Sow your seeds in good soil and water them, not only with rain, but with patience and care. It is the steady hand, not the hurried one, that reaps the greatest harvest. Beware the lure of idleness, for a man who does not work becomes as stagnant as water left to stand. Even in rest, let there be purpose, a moment to reflect, to plan, to dream. For it is dreams that guide us, but it is labor that turns them into reality. At the table, whether it is rich with abundance or modest in its fare, do not forget to share. A meal shared brings greater nourishment than the finest feast eaten alone. Look to your neighbor not with suspicion, but with an open hand, for kindness offered freely will return to you when you need it most. Live simply, not as one who seeks to master the world, but as one who understands their place within it. The stars above, the fields below, the rivers that flow between, they were here long before us and will remain long after. To live in harmony with these is the greatest wisdom of all. For a life lived in balance, in kindness, in purpose, is a life well lived, and that is all the gods ask of us. The man's voice trails off, and he looks at you with an expression that is both serene and thoughtful. Its words are simple, he says, placing the scroll carefully back onto the shelf. But there is great power in simplicity. Perhaps it is the simplest truths that endure the longest. The man looks at you again, his expression thoughtful. As you believed in balance, he says, in finding harmony between the work of the hands and the work of the soul, it is a lesson that many forget, even in a place like this, where knowledge is prized above all else. But what good is knowledge if it does not bring peace to the heart? For a moment, there is silence. The room feels warm and safe. The words of the ancient poet lingering like embers in the brazier's glow. Perhaps, he says softly, that is why you are here. Not to find answers, but to remember the questions worth asking. The man looks at you again with a thoughtful expression, as if weighing something in his mind. Then he nods, as though coming to a decision. And I can see you are someone who seeks not just knowledge, but the quiet it brings. There is a place for you here, among those who think and dream. Come, let me show you where you can rest for the night. He gestures for you to follow him again, leading you deeper into the great library. The rain continues its gentle patter outside, the sound now mingling with the steady crackle of oil lamps. As you pass through a series of hallways, the air grows quieter with each step. The faint hum of conversation and rustling scrolls fading into a comforting stillness. You reach a small arched doorway, its wooden frame polished smooth from years of use. The man pushes it open to reveal a chamber, lit softly by the glow of a single bronze oil lamp resting on a low table. The room is simple, but there is a quiet elegance in its design. The walls are smooth limestone, cool and pale, with faint traces of painted patterns that have faded over time. A low bed sits against one wall, its frame made of sturdy acacia wood. It is covered with woven linens in earthy tones, their texture soft and inviting. Beside it, a small shelf holds a few scrolls, neatly arranged along with a reed pen and a small ink pot. A cushioned bench stands near the table, offering a space to sit and reflect. On the far side of the room, a narrow window is set high in the wall, allowing a faint, diffuse light to filter in during the day and the sound of the rain to drift in now, soft and rhythmic. The man steps inside and places a hand lightly on the back of the bench. "This is a scholar's chamber," he says, his voice low and steady. "Simple, but it has what you need. A place to think, to write, to rest. Many who have come here before you have spent nights in this very room. They came seeking answers, or perhaps only peace, just as you have. He takes a step back, letting you take in the space. "The rain will keep you company tonight," he says, gesturing toward the window, "and the library will keep you safe. In this place, you are among those who value what is eternal, knowledge, understanding, and the quiet wisdom of the world." He places the oil lamp a little closer to the bed, its warm light casting gentle shadows on the walls. "Sleep well," he says, his tone both kind and certain. "Tomorrow the library will still be here, waiting for you." With that, he inclines his head and steps out, leaving you alone in the quiet comfort of the chamber. You settle onto the bed, the linen soft beneath you. The distant sound of the rain is steady, a soothing rhythm that seems to echo the calm of the library. The air smells faintly of papyrus and cedar wood, and the glow of the lamp creates a gentle warmth that fills the room. You feel safe here, as though the wisdom of the ages is wrapped around you like a blanket, holding you in its care. As you close your eyes, the world of Alexandria begins to fade, replaced by the quiet promise of rest. Here, within these ancient walls, there is nothing to fear, nothing to want, only peace and the steady rhythm of the rain as it lulls you into sleep.